What is going on, Raider Nation? Raider Primo back again. We got breaking news, you guys, coming out of Henderson. Raiders Pete Carroll is officially out of Las Vegas. He was fired by the Las Vegas Raiders, you guys, and I'm kind of surprised by him being fired. I'm not surprised by us moving on from Pete Carroll. I'm just surprised that they're coming out that he was fired. I thought Pete was going to be resigning or basically something to that effect. Let him go out on his own terms. But no, it is coming out of Henderson, you guys. I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. This is coming from Mark Davis out of Henderson. Yes, guys, it is early. Good morning, you guys. I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. Actually, that is the wrong screen. Let me see. I want to make sure it's clear for you guys so you guys can see it. But yes, we have breaking news, you guys, coming out of Henderson. And it is Pete Carroll is out in Las Vegas. The Raiders have relieved Pete Carroll of his duties. This is coming from X. From Raiders. This is Mark Davis speaking, you guys. And guys, we are only going to be live for 30 minutes. So please, on the way in, hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and hit the bell so you're not missing anything. And also get this video out to more Raider fans like yourself. Like I said, I'm only going to be on for 30 minutes. Brother Graf and Wasted, they have their show in about 30 minutes at 9 o'clock. I do not want to cut into their time. So, yes, the Las Vegas Raiders have relieved Pete Carroll of his duties as head coach. We appreciate and wish him and his family all the best. Moving forward, now this is key, you guys. This is key. When I read this the first time, and I'm hoping Mark stays true to this, one of my brothers, Van City, he says the same thing. Moving forward, General Manager John Spytek will lead all football operations in a close collaboration with Tom Brady, including the search for the club's next head coach. Together, they will guide football decisions with a shared focus on leadership, culture, and alignment with the organization's long-term vision and goals. Now, here's the thing, you guys. Will Mark stay true to his word? Because this is what we want, right? We want John Spytek to take full reins, be the general manager of the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's what Tom Brady is. And we told you guys numerous times over here. And even yesterday when I was doing a show with Jay Raider, shout out to Jay Raider from Just Raiders Baby and Raider Will, we didn't believe that Tom Brady was as involved as many people have suspected, and that he was just an ear. He was just basically collaboration. He was just a voice possibly to Spytek, but he wasn't really the one making the final calls, the final decisions. And Mark Davis is kind of alluding to that John Spytek will lean on Tom Brady as a close collaboration. But at the end of the day, it is going to be John Spytek's show up in Las Vegas for the offseason. And I love this. They're going to go out and search the next head coach, but it is Spytek and Brady that is doing it. Spytek needs to bring in a guy that he can work with. If that is a Clint Kubiak, if that is a Matt LaFleur, Chris Shula, somebody else that we have not talked about, whoever can work with Spytek, and we talked about it yesterday's show, can align with his vision. That is who Spytek needs to go for. But this is where Spytek and Brady need to pull out, pause if necessary. And that is when deciding the coaching staff, the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach, the defensive coordinator. You need to let your head coach get his guys. Now, hopefully it's not a family reunion, just like my brother Raider Will said. Hopefully it's not a family reunion and you got your head coach bringing in their sons, their grandmas, their mothers, their fathers. None of that. And this is the first step, you guys, into the right direction. You got to let go of Pete Carroll, but you got to – I hope this means, and I'm assuming this is going to mean the entire coaching staff is going to get let go. You got to burn this thing down to the ground. But before we get any further, you guys, I see the chat is flooding in. We got Leak Eye, one of the moderators in the building. Sup, Primos? Good morning to you. Good morning to you guys. It is a early day in Raider Nation. or for me at least, it's an early day because my goodness, I literally just woke up, you guys, like 20, like maybe 10 minutes ago, and right away as soon as I woke up, my phone just ding. Pete Carroll fired from Las Vegas. I'm like, damn, bro, like can't even brush my teeth here. That's why it's gonna be a quick show. Gonna be a quick show because I feel disgusting right now. I feel disgusting. But yeah, we got Lee Guy in the building. Let me go ahead and pull that back up over here, though. Yes, you guys. Breaking news: the Las Vegas Raiders have relieved Pete Carroll of his duties as head coach. And this is coming from Mark Davis. AEL says Pete Carroll was fired on my birthday. Hey, Ant, you got a birthday gift, brother. You got a birthday gift. DeMokes, hey, you was third, brother. You was third. At least on StreamYard, it's showing that you was third. We got CGR in the building. Let me see who else we got. We got Raider Paul in the building. Shout out to Raider Paul. New era of football. Let's go, Raiders. Yeah, hey, Pete Carroll is relieved of his duties, you guys. Demoke says, we will see how it works. I hope Brady allows Spytek to take full range. And that's what I'm hoping for too, Demoke. And I'm hoping Tom Brady, again, I'm not expecting him to be, he says he's going to be more involved. I'm taking it with a grain of salt because he is still commentating. He's going to have playoff games that he's going to be working at. Spytek needs to have full range, and this is on Spytek in my mind, Demokes. This offseason is gonna depend on how Spytek is gonna move, and the pressure is on him to make the right moves. He cannot come into the season playing Coupon John. He has to be aggressive in this offseason, and it starts by getting the right head coach for the job that you can work with. Hobo Raiders, out to you. Hey, I'm not saying I'll do better, but man, shit, I would know to put JPJ at center. I would know that, hobo. We got Rolling Dubs in the building. Dominoes are falling. That was a much needed step. And it starts there, Roland. It's not, we're not going to get the entire coaching staff fired, all at once. It starts there at the head. But I did want to bring something up while I was going through this. Love brother Hondo. And I get what Hondo is saying, but he says Raiders fired Pete Carroll and the cycle of blame continues. And I see what he is saying, you guys. I get it. But if you look back at this season and you look at the decision making that Pete was making for the Raiders, the offensive line shuffling, Brendan Carroll bringing in his son, Brendan Carroll, bringing in his son, Nate Carroll, and both of your sons and the positions that they're coaching, those positions were the worst on this team. The offensive line was ran by Brandon Carroll. Worst offensive line this season. You have Stone Forsythe out there, didn't even start, and he was damn near leading the team in sacks given up. He was also our run game coordinator. Couldn't run the football for shit. Nate Carroll, your quarterback's coach. Or not quarterback's coach, but I think he was he was helping the quarterbacks in some way. I forgot. I don't know if it was assistant quarterbacks coach or what it was. But Geno Smith leading the league in interceptions. Both positions that your sons were coaching at was terrible. It was terrible. So I don't want to beat up on Pete. I got mad respect for Pete for what he did, with the Seattle Seahawks, but he didn't do nothing for the Raiders. Yes, Raiders are a dysfunctional organization. Yes, was there a lot of other problems along with the Raiders' downfall this season for the 2025 season? Yes, but it started at the head coaching spot. Your head coach was not making decisions, was not holding players accountable, Geno Smith, and putting the blame on other people, and then putting JPJ in a battle with Alex Kappa. Like, again, you guys, it was just the decision making. You're not blaming Pete Carroll for everything. That, like, trust me, there's a lot of other people that's probably going to get fired for a terrible season in Las Vegas, but you can't say he didn't add to it. So Hondo, love you, brother, but man, they're not blaming everything on Pete. They're not blaming everything on Pete. I expect I'm expecting more more heads to start rolling. Let me get in. Lee Kai says Flores and Dayball should be an interesting duo, and I am hearing that rumor is starting to heat up. Would I personally? I don't. I wouldn't like Flores as the head coach. I think you can possibly look in a better direction. Not saying he's a bad head coach for what he did in Miami, but I think you can upgrade that position, or you can look elsewhere and get a better head coach. Again, there's younger head coaches that are coming out possibly into this offseason. Now, the ball as an OC, that's something Leak I would like to do is the ball as a OC. I know he didn't have a lot of success with the Giants as the head coach out there, but what he did was he did have a good season with Daniel Jones. I believe he had one season with Allen. So I would love to see what the ball can do with our future quarterback if that is the route that Spytek and the Raiders are going to go towards with the first overall pick. I would like to see what they do with the ball and a young quarterback. So it would be interesting. It's going to definitely be an interesting couple of weeks, you guys, for a coaching search. Again, would I personally go Flores? No. The ball, though, as OC, that's something I could possibly go with. Make me a mod. I'll make sure to. Hey, Demos, man. Sometimes you get a little too trigger happy, bro. Like I can't. I think we got enough mods in here, man. Frank Weber, salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Yes, you guys. Breaking news this morning. We have Pete Carroll out of the building in Las Vegas. The Raiders head coaching search begins. And yeah, man, now we can actually go into the offseason wondering speculating. What are the Raiders going to do? What are we going to do in the offseason? Because yesterday, Will and Jay and me, we brought up a good point. Based on who you bring at head coach and who they bring in the coaching staff, that's going to determine the route that they're going to go in free agency and in the draft. Are they going to draft Mendoza? Or are they going to trade back? So it's going to be very, very interesting to see who we bring in as a head coach. I would love to bring in an offensive-minded head coach. I do like Chris Shula still, you guys, as a defensive-minded head coach. I believe he will fix that defense. But Will made a great point. Does he have his OC in line to come with him to the Las Vegas Raiders, or is it going to be another Chip Kelly kind of Pete Carroll pairing where they kind of both don't see eye to eye? You don't want to put Chris Shula in that position, and you don't want an OC to come in and him and Chris Shula don't see eye to eye. So it will be kind of not. And the thing about Clint Kubiak, Will made a good point. Shout out to Ray, bro. Shout out to Will, man. If you guys haven't, go subscribe to my brother over there. I think it's Silver and Black Pocket, bro. I've got to check. I got to check. Let me see because it's crazy because I actually following my stuff. I want to make sure I got Silver and Black Radio Podcast, guys. Go give my guy a follow. Raider Will. He brought up a really, really good point, you guys, and that is that Clint Kubiak is calling his plays in Seattle. So you would, if he comes here as the head coach, you have no worry of him having to bring in an OC and being a first-time play caller. He is calling his own plays out in Seattle. He will come in, run the offense. Now, kind of on the flip side of that, kind of like what we said about Chris Shula, who is he going to bring in as his defensive coordinator? Because I think Patrick Graham is going to be gone, you guys. Like I said, I think heads are going to start rolling. I think you need to have a coordinator in place, and hopefully it needs to be a good one. They need to be aligned. They need to be aligned. So it's going to be the same thing with Clint Kubiak. Who does he have as DC? Who does he have in mind at DC if Clint Kubiak does become the head coach of the Raiders? Again, that's my number one pick. That's who I would love the Raiders to bring in as head coach. Hobo Raider says it was disrespectful for them to fire Pete. They should have given him the grace of allowing him to step down. Well, you know what, Hobo? We don't know what happened behind the scenes. We don't know if Mark wanted to do that for Pete, and Pete was like, nah, like, I'm trying to stay. We don't know. I do agree with you, though. Not the disrespectful part. I agree that I'm, like, kind of shocked that they're coming out and saying that they fired Pete rather than Pete resigning from the head coaching spot. That did shock me. I didn't expect him to – or I didn't expect them to come out and say they fired Pete. like they did. And I mean, it was respectful. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll pull it up again on X for those of you who have not seen what the Raiders posted. And again, this is coming from the Las Vegas Raiders X account. I'll pull it up. Give me 1 second. I don't know why I just tabbed out. Josh DeBow is going crazy on X right now, you guys. He is pulling out all the receipts that Pete Carroll said in the offseason. But let me share my screen here, you guys, with you. It was This is coming from Mark Davis. The Las Vegas Raiders have relieved Pete Carroll of his duties as head coach. We appreciate and wish him and his family all the best. And here's the key thing, you guys, is the second paragraph. Moving forward, general manager John Spytek will lead all football operations in a close collaboration with Tom Brady, including the search for the club's next head coach. Together, they will guide football decisions with a shared focus on leadership, culture, and alignment with the organization's long-term vision and goals. Long-term vision and goals, but the key thing is leadership, culture, alignment, everything that we were talking about leading up to today, you guys, is that you need to go get a head coach that aligns with your vision, but also can change the culture and is a leader of men in that locker room. And I think Kubiak is that guy. Roland Dubs, number 1 pick, second most cap space, 10 draft picks, finally an attractive head coaching position. A lot of people said who would want to come and coach here if you're one and done. Here's the thing, you guys. At that number 1 pick, it's not a secret that the Raiders need a quarterback. And if you bring in a Clint Kubiak or Matt LaFleur or one of these offensive-minded head coaches or coordinators that is going to be a head coach, that is an attractive place to be, is Las Vegas. You got the number 1 pick. You have the hand of your picking at quarterback. If there's a coach that comes in and really loves Mendoza and Spytek loves Mendoza's right there for the picking. There's no, we can't trade up for Jaden Daniels, or we can't get CJ Stroud because our head coach, stopped the trade. No, you love Mendoza. Mendoza is right there for the picking. So there's no excuses. Having that number 1 pick and to Roland up second most in cap space, 10 draft picks, it's an attractive head coaching position. So I think people are underestimating the Raiders. I get it. We've been bad. We've been terrible, you guys. But there's a reason why Ben Johnson went to Chicago. There's a reason why Liam Cohen went to Jacksonville. And it started with the quarterback. Hobo Raider. To be honest, Kappa has done a good job at center. By the way, you never gave me your opinion on my YouTube. Hobo Raider. I'm trying to remember. Is this XL? Is it XL? Because I think I am sub to you. Is it XL? I think it's XL. Roland Dubs, if you don't believe Pete needed to be relieved, you don't know ball. Sorry, not sorry. Oh, no, it was either relieved or the thing is he needed to be gone, Roland Dubs, after the season. I said that many times. He needed to be let go. Whether that was him resigning or him fired, we said it last night. You could not go into this offseason with Pete Carroll. You couldn't. Like, he had to be out the building, and if it wasn't last night, it had to be this morning. Lika, I don't know why fans are mad. Pete Carroll and his lack of decisions got him fired. Exactly, Lika. Hobo Raider, we should snatch Kevin Stefanski for OC, at least for quarterback coach. He's an amazing quarterback coach. I would not be upset bringing him in, Kevin Stefanski. I think he could help our offense, especially, again, you want to give the right pieces to your future quarterback. If it is Mendoza, you want to be able to build around him. But also, I will say this, Hobo. You said bring him in for OC. I think that would be better. I say that because you don't want to have too many chefs in the kitchen. We've seen how that was with AP. You don't want to have too many of these guys who are former head coaches in the kitchen, especially if you're going to possibly especially if you bring in an offensive-minded head coach. Now, if you bring in a defensive-minded head coach, Hobo, that's where I would love to bring in Kevin Stefanski as an offense coordinator. But again, that's if they align, they have the same vision. If they can work well together, if that's a Chris Shula or even Brian Flores. Alex, salute to you. Thank you for coming in. We got Cobain 2. Salute to you for pulling up, man. CGR going in the chat. Demoke said, "Don't worry, I'll only block Anthony and Bodega." Alex says, "Best news ever." And like I said, you guys, it had to happen. You could not go into the season with Pete Carroll with all the coaching decisions. You couldn't. I did not trust bringing in a future quarterback with this coaching staff. It would not have worked. Colin says coaches are judged by wins and losses on the field. And 3-14 didn't help his cause. And I will have to say, Colin, though, the 3-14 season happened because of the decision makings that Pete Carroll and this coaching staff made. And it started with shuffling that offensive line for whatever reason, putting Meredith, a guard who never played a day in his life, at center. You put him at center. And then you put a Remington Award winner that won it for being the best center in the nation. You put him at guard. Not saying he's a bad guard. He's just a better center than he is at guard. And it started there. Yep, it's on the Raiders website as well. Yep, you guys, it is true. Breaking news, Raiders fire Pete Carroll. We will be on for maybe another 5-10 minutes. You guys, like I said, brothers Graf and Wasted, they are going to be going live in about 10 minutes at 9 o'clock. You guys, 9 o'clock Pacific for those guys on the West Coast. So I do not want to cut into their time on their live. So yes, we will be on for maybe 5-10 more minutes. Let me see your guys' reactions. What does this mean for the future of the Raiders? Well, let's end it here. Let me get your guys' answers on that. What does this mean for the future of the Raiders? Who do you guys think is going to be the next head coach for the Raiders? Because that is where it starts, you guys. We can talk about Mendoza all we want. We can talk about Linderbaum. We can talk about Smith from Indianapolis, like these free agent pieces that we could bring in. It starts with addressing the head coach position, getting the right head coach, and building a foundational coaching staff. One that's not going to, a regime that is not going to be here for just one and done season. We got to bring in the right head coach. Who is some head coaches, you guys, that, or some names for head coaching, the head coaching spot that you guys will love to bring in? Let me see. Colin says when Pete Carroll was hired as head coach of the New England Patriots in '97, he inherited a team that had come out of nowhere and played in the Super Bowl. It's kind of like the Gruden with the Tony Dungy thing. How about you? Oh, it is Axel. Okay. Okay. Hey, I like it. Hey, I like it, bro. And I'm gonna keep watching you, man. You keep growing. It's a grind. That's my advice. It's a grind. To start growing, but it's not impossible, bro. I didn't think it was possible to even get close to 600 subscribers, but hey, and if you want, come on, bro. Eddie Mo, just hit me up. We could plan something, plan a show. Reach out to maybe Jay Raider or maybe Raider Will or even some other Raider content creators, and try to get maybe some guests on the show, just to build a platform and just keep it open to anybody. That's what I do. I keep it open to Niner fans, Seahawks fans, Broncos fans. Like, I don't just make it for Raider Nation because I love talking football. I'm a Raider fan at heart, but I'm also a football fan. I love talking football, and I know you do the same thing, Axel. But yeah, don't, and you gonna get, before you know it, man, you gonna reach 500. You gonna reach 1K. And yeah, we'll go on the. I'll make sure it's the Hobo one because I wonder if I don't know. Am I subscribed to the last one? It might be. It might be. Yeah, now 26 years ago that Pete Carroll was fired as head coach of the Patriots and was succeeded by Bill Belichick, and the rest is history. Lee Guy says, can't believe I'm saying this. Cliff Kingsbury might be another candidate for the Raiders. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that, Lee Guy, last night. I personally hate and man, I can't believe Jay did this. It was like a love it or hate it. And I was sort of in the middle. Like I didn't hate it, but I had to choose hate it because I think Kingsbury is a better coordinator than a head coach. I think he can do wonders at coordinator, and he's a really fantastic play caller. But I will say this: he is dependent on what quarterback is running his system. We've seen it with Jaden Daniels and Kyler Murray. Jaden has found more success in Kingsbury's system than Kyler Murray did. But that's just a testament to how good Jaden Daniel is from a skill level. I think Jaden Daniels from a skill level is better than Kyler Murray. So I believe Kingsbury is dependent on the right quarterback running the system. And is that a Mendoza running the system? You don't know. You don't know. But I believe he's a better offensive coordinator. And would I bring him in as an offensive coordinator? Maybe, but he's not my first choice at OC. That like you are getting desperate at finding an OC if you go for Kingsbury. Or I wouldn't even say that. I would say maybe you're probably down to like your fifth option, possibly for Kingsbury, which I mean, for me, that's something kind of desperate. We could also bring in Jonathan Gannon as DC. I heard that name floated around, Hobo, and wouldn't be against it. Again, if it aligns, like I said, if you bring in Clint Kubiak, offensive coordinator for Seattle, and you have an offensive-minded head coach, then he brings in a Jonathan Gannon at DC. The only thing is, do they see eye to eye? That's it. Or even this, Clint, you're the head coach. You keep the team together, but let your DC be the DC. Give him full reins. The excuse with Patrick Graham was that he was always handcuffed, to Josh McDaniels, to Pete Carroll. And then when he was with AP, he kind of, the handcuffs were taken off. I don't want to see that anymore. I don't want these excuses of people being handcuffed. Nah, let these coordinators coordinate. Let these coordinators coordinate. We could trade Brock Bowers too for some picks. No. Then we could use some of the cash we got to get Trey McBride. No. Okay. And I think, is Trey McBride under contract? Let me see. Or is he, let me see. Is he going to, let me see his contract. Let me see Trey McBride's contract. Yeah, he just signed a new deal. I was pretty sure he did. Yeah, he just signed a new deal, signed a 4-year, $76 million contract with the Cardinals in April of 2025, making him the highest paid tight end in NFL history by average annual $19 million, with $43 million guaranteed, including $32.5 million fully guaranteed at signing, securing him through the 2029 season and resetting the tight end market. So, Hobo, no. I hope you're trolling, brother, but yeah, no. He just re-signed. You got Brock on a rookie deal, and Brock, Trey McBride better than Brock? I'm sorry, brother. No. Is McBride a beast? Hell yeah. Watching him ball out against the Rams yesterday, he's a beast. He deserves to be up there in the conversation as one of the best tight ends in the league. But I'm sorry, Brock is playing with nothing out there. Brock is playing with nothing. Trey McBride had Kyler Murray thrown at him. Say what you want, but Kyler Murray, as much as I'm against bringing him in, he is better than any quarterback we've had in the past 4 years. But Brock is playing with nothing, okay? And he's putting up numbers. He was injured a little bit for the season, continued putting up numbers. Like, are we going to forget about the 3-touchdown game he had against Jacksonville? Like, come on. Yeah. Yeah, Hobo. Like, it's not happening, man. Oh, they live? Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Hey, we're going to wrap it up, you guys. Go over to OLV Raiders Network. Go over to Graph and Waste. The Graph and Wasted show is going live, you guys. Raider Nation Unlimited, featuring Wasted Talent. Go over there. Subscribe to my guys. Go wipe them feet. Pay the bar tab over there. And hit that bell, guys. Go over there. We are going to be transitioning to over there, you guys. Amazing show. Yes. Breaking news. Raiders fire Pete Carroll. Sorry I couldn't really get into all of the comments, you guys. But like I said, I did not want to conflict show times between Graph and Wasted. So guys, go over there. I'll see y'all over there. See you guys in the next one. We out. Peace. And yeah, see y'all over at OLV Raiders Network or Raider Nation Unlimited, whatever chat room you are in. We out.